years back when this church was a baby. God told Ugandans, you are going to be a missionary church. God sent Apollo Kivebulaya to Congo as a man to show Ugandans the missionary calling is upon this country, upon the church of Uganda. He could start with us. Kivenjire was a missionary, but a very short-lived missionary. I think he died at the age of 64, very young, extremely young. Who is going to be the next Kivenjire? From the Bachiga. I was discipling and mentoring Bishop Onesimus Asimwe. You know him very well. Bishop Onesimus Asimwe's story is very simple. I met him in Bweranyanje. He was one of the leaders of KAIM. We were doing a conference in Bweranyanje. They invited me to go and be a speaker. I was a bishop in Nebi. They took me to Bweranyanje. I preached. I sat down. He was the next one to preach. I have never met him. I've never even heard him, but I decided to sit down and to listen to him. He told me later on, I had actually wanted them to take you for tea or coffee like they take bishops. I did not even want you to sit there and listen to me. But when you chose to sit there, I even cannot remember what I preached about. Hey. So when he finished, I was so moved in my heart, just like I did to Collins. I got up, picked up the microphone. This is what I said. This man here is a rising star in Western Uganda. Amen. In the evening, I asked him to come and meet me in the chapel with his family. He came with his wife, 2 kids. I laid my hands on him. He fell from where he was sitting. He went under the pew. Now, he told me what happened. That when you laid your hand and you started praying for me, the glory of God came to a degree I could not control. Now, being a Muchiga, and my wife is a Mufumbira, I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I held the pew. How I went under the pew, I did not know. But that was the beginning of a long struggle. If you know Onesimus' story, now he's a bishop in Rukunjiri, North Kigezi. Just leave him. Because after Bweranyanje, he went into loggerheads with his bishop in Kabale. God began to manifest gifts of healing. He would pray for the sick and they would receive healing. There was one particular boy, blind in both eyes, in Hornbay School for the Blind, came with a stick looking for Onesimus because he could pray for people and they would see. He prayed for Henry. His name is Henry, like me. The man threw his stick, went seeing back to school. To date, his eyes are open. To date, with this patriotic movement, they took him to Chankwanzi. He was the best in the max shooting, whatever they call it. Now he's a layman. And the bishop, like me, would not have a layman being talked about as having the gift of healing and all those things. It earned him his job in Kigezi High School. They chased him. He even told me the men handled him at the cathedral. They would not allow him to get into the cathedral. They allowed his wife and children to get in, but for him, they bar him. Those wardens, the Bachiga, are very strong. He came roaming the Kampala street for 1 year. They started a church somewhere, I don't even know where. Within a month, there were 500 young people, including 2 of the daughters of the bishop. And when Archbishop Nkoyoyo found him in Kigezi in Kabale, he pleaded with the bishop, give me this young man, I want to take him. I want to take him to Namirembe. The bishop said he should have asked yesterday, I would have given him a long time ago. He came to Namirembe to be in the deliverance ministry missions department. Prayer and deliverance like Odongo is doing here in All Saints Cathedral. That's when we met. I became the archbishop. He was in my staff. Then at some point, when I lost my chaplain, Hannington Mutebi, now the bishop, I asked Onesimus to be my chaplain. A layman with a tie on, and my bishops were not amused, and they did not consider a layman with a tie on to be the archbishop's chaplain at the top level. A lay person knowing the secrets of bishops, that cannot work. But let me tell you, 2012, now being ordained a deacon by the bishop who threw him out. Reconciliation came. To now tell you that some of these journeys are important, that ordination to deaconhood was attended by 9 bishops. The bishop of Namirembe drove from here to Kabale and back for the sake of Onesimus. And now he became a priest, and the bishop told me, you're not going to leave us alone until you are here to preach at his priesthood. I came, I preached at his priesthood, and I left him in Namirembe. The Bishop of North Kigezi, Onesimus Asimwe, has got the calling of a true Muchiga from Kigezi. With those kind of anointing that Kibenjire left behind, that I still believe there are people who are going to seize those anointing and run with it. I also believe very strongly that God, through the East African revival, has generated a lot of people who still will have to go out onto missions like Apollo Kibebulaya.